Bella, and this is FlashCast by PDB. Today I want to talk about emotional intelligence, and it's a bit of a buzzword that goes around and concept, but can I tell you it's something that I really believe in. So emotional intelligence to me is very important, and it's something that I do a lot of work around, learning more, improving my emotional intelligence, or trying to improve my emotional intelligence. And basically, to me, it's all about emotional intelligence in 4 categories, and I'll elaborate further in this flashcast. But broken down into 4 categories, it's all about the ability to be conscious, to understand people's motivation, to be able to put things into context, and then having a level of empathy. So if you want to fast track the PDB version of emotional intelligence, they're the 4 key areas for me. It's all about understanding motivation, context, consciousness, and empathy. But elaborating it out a bit further, what does it really mean when you put it in play? Emotional intelligence first appeared to the masses. It was all about people understanding, is it IQs or is it EQs? And they found that, with IQs, they stay quite stable. Whereas with emotional intelligence, EQ, you can actually improve your EQ. And if you don't work on actually being emotionally intelligent, it can decrease. So unlike IQs, EQ can fluctuate. So something that's really, really quite important. They've also found that in the Fortune 500 companies in America, the top Fortune 500 companies, that emotional intelligence is strong amongst the top 75%. So 75% of all the top Fortune 500 companies have highly emotionally intelligent people working for them or within the company. So that's quite an interesting fact to think about, is that this concept of EQ shows its head quite predominantly in those companies. Now, what does it really mean to me when I say what does a emotional intelligent person look like? Well, to me, number one, they're curious about people. It doesn't matter whether you're introverted or extroverted. Emotionally intelligent people are very curious about everyone around them. This is where the empathy comes in. It's one of the most significant gateways for me to understand whether somebody is emotionally intelligent, is that they're actually curious about people. The more you care about other people and what they're going through, the more curious you're going to be about them. So that to me is a really good signpost. Emotionally intelligent people have a robust emotional vocabulary. They know how to talk about their emotions, good and bad, but they, research shows that 36% of people only can talk about emotions. And that is something that's really, really counterintuitive. We're beings that feel. We're emotional beings by nature, yet only 36% of people can actually have a robust emotional conversation. So this is something that really is evident in emotionally intelligent people. They can have robust emotional conversations. 3, they embrace change. So to me, emotionally intelligent people, they're flexible. They're constantly adapting. They can pivot when they need to. They're not scared of change. They're always making sure to embrace change. And not change for change's sake, but change because it's required. 4, they know their strengths and weaknesses. Emotionally intelligent people know where they're strong, and importantly, they know where they are weak. They constantly work on their weaknesses. They constantly work on what I say, being better today than yesterday, tomorrow better than today. 5, they're quite difficult to offend. If you think about it, emotionally intelligent people don't get offended easily because they're very comfortable with who they are. They've got a thick skin because they know themselves. They know their strengths. They know their weaknesses. They embrace change. They have robust emotional vocabulary. All the things we talked about before is why they're difficult to offend. So keep that in mind, that emotionally intelligent people are often difficult to offend. 6, they know how to say no. Emotionally intelligent people know how to say no. It's all about exerting self-control. It's all about making sure they're not taking on more than what they can than they can deal with, so that way they're not delivering less than what they promise. And that's something that happens a lot, is that emotionally intelligent people know how to say no because they don't want to disappoint. They don't want to under-deliver on what they are promising. So it's something to really think about. That goes hand in hand with making sure that that you're always in control, and that you've got that balance of consciousness and the ability to put things into context while still showing a level of empathy. So, very, very important. The other thing is that they're not negative. So they don't have negative chats with themselves. Again, if you put into context what we talked about before, because they know themselves, they know their strengths, their weaknesses, because they can have robust emotional vocabulary, they're curious about people, they're not negative. They don't have that negative discussion with themselves, which means they don't hold grudges. They don't expect things in return. So these are some of the things that I really see prevalent from my experience and in emotionally intelligent people. They really do know how to hold it together. And final comment is that they know how to bring it all together. If you think that you've got a high EQ, it's because you can combine everything together. You know how to learn and then share. You know how to balance the yin and the yang. You know how to put things into context. You know how to be conscious. You know how to have that level of empathy that's required for the situation that happens. But again, you'll hear a lot about this concept of emotional intelligence. We talk about being emotionally intelligent, or people need to be emotionally intelligent, yet a lot of people don't understand what the day-to-day of that looks like. So the reasoning behind this FlashCast on emotional intelligence is to share my perception, my view of what emotionally intelligent people do. So again, recap, it's all about being curious. It's all about robust emotional vocabulary. It's all about embracing change. It's about knowing your strengths and your weaknesses. It's being difficult to offend because you know yourself so much. It's about saying no when you need to so that you don't under-deliver on what you're promising. Letting go of mistakes, not being hard on yourself. Don't hold grudges. Don't expect things in return. Expectations breeds disappointments. So to me, these are some really cool things to think about, to work on your own emotional intelligence, but also to really identify emotionally intelligent individuals and to obviously celebrate them and work with them and surround yourself with them, because these are the people that will actually elevate you to become the best version of yourself. So, again, as usual, thank you for listening to my FlashCast. This is Phi Di Bella. You can listen to FlashCast by PDB on the topic of emotional intelligence. Until next time, take care and be the best that you can be.
Hi, this is Phi Di Bella, and if you don't know already, in 2022 May, I'll be putting the dancing shoes on with my daughter Annika for Dancing CEOs Queensland. She can dance and I can't, but the journey's going to be fun. And we're doing it all for a great cause. So Dancing CEOs has been around for a long time here in Brisbane. It's an amazing organisation and charity event. They raised over $500,000 this year, and I look forward to it in 2022. If you can give $5, $500, $5,000, whatever you can would be great to support a great cause. It goes to Women's Legal Services Queensland, who make sure that women and children that are affected by domestic violence are looked after. So a great cause, 100% tax deducted, no admin fees, which is something that we love about it. 100% of your donation goes to helping those that need it. So support Annika, support myself, and support Dancing CEOs. The link is provided below. Please give what you can.